opening race. Mehdi Benani from Frederick Ekblom. Ivan Muller will line up in third position ahead of Katzberg's Lada. Then Norby, Thiago Monteiro and Rob Huff. Tom Coronel, stunning run through qualifying yesterday. He will start 8th for this race. Jose Maria Lopez 9th. And then, because one of the Volvos has been sent to the back, Tom Chilton has moved up into 10th position ahead of Gabriele Tarquini and Ugo Valente. Jean-Philippe Rennie-Munich and Ferenc Fischer with Gregoire de Moustier all ahead of Ted Björk. Björk having to have an engine changed. It overheated at the end of the Slovakia ring race, picking up too much debris. And as a result, engine change means back of the grid. For this race, in the second encounter, the main race, he will resume his normal grid position. Tricolor over the car of Gabriele Tarquini, the Italian colours for the veteran of FIA World Touring Cars. In fact, veteran of touring car racing, full stop. He may be one of the oldest still practicing touring car racing, certainly at the top level.
But he's still one of the most enthusiastic, Martin.
One of the most competitive,
and one of the most
too,
fiery personalities. Some spots of rain around as well still. So there's, you know, Norby could be playing a blinder. He only needs to be dry that last few laps, and the distance you can make up with a dry setup on slicks, he would just eat everyone alive. But
can you get by? Even with that speed advantage, it is the Hungaroring, which is renowned for being tough to overtake on.
Traction, you do it, but it's the distance he's going to lose, and this could be a real 0 to 0.
Lopez on rear slicks, which means he's definitely on front slicks. You saw Tom Chilton's Citroen was on wet weather tyres. You can see Alex going up and down trying to make a note of who's on what, but Lopez is being an amber gambler, and the tyre warmers are off, which means that's his choice, and the car will be dropped onto the floor in a couple of moments.
You know, the interesting thing here, Martin, you know, the factory Citroen team of Lopez and Muller, they operate almost as two separate teams. Yes. They all both want to beat each other. You know, you get the likes of Honda and Lada, and they work as a team, so they can spread their bases. They can put Huffy on a wet setup, Michelitz on a dry setup, and they can go, you know, with Thiago somewhere down the middle. So I would imagine one of the others would have a better chance of getting one over on the Citroens.
Now, captain split mixture, Tom Coronel, has gone for slicks front and rear. He has not gone for wets at the rear, so he thinks from his outlap that it may be grippy enough. As we heard,
Huffy's on wets on the back, for sure.
Well,
on the front?
We heard that that Norby had gone full slick and Thiago has gone full wet. And what has Huffy got on the front?
Huffy's got a faded out lens. He's got slicks on the front.
It is. He has split the difference, and he will presumably then have gone with a relatively dry, stiff setting, because you've got to get the heat into those slicks.
That will be horrible to drive. That will be horrible.
If it stops raining, we are dead. We're dead, because it's really fast with the slicks, but it's a bit too much.
Well, and will it stop raining?
That's exactly what I told you. Yeah. Right, Monteiro's going full wet, Huffy's going half and half, and Michelitz is going full dry. And
the weather's going to bless somebody. Somebody's going to look like a hero, somebody's going to look like a zero, so and we have no idea.
That's real good teamwork from Honda there.
Yeah, they've got they've covered all bases. Somebody there is going to end or start off on the right tyre, and somebody else possibly is going to end up on the right tyre, or maybe it will just drizzle relentlessly as it has done all day long. It's not heavy drizzle, as you can see from the camera lens, but with...
it would be... Oh, right. Michelitz has got wets on the back as well. Right, so he hasn't gone full slick.
So did
it'd be interesting to see what Muller's gone with. If Lopez has gone full slick, then it'd be interesting to see what tactic he's going with. But he is...
Well, Muller's almost going to have to gamble on doing something different from Pachito. Pachito is on full slicks in 9th on the grid. Yeah, and Muller...
Pachito's got to be careful he doesn't get taken out back there. It's going to be a real lottery with people on slicks arriving at turn 1, that hairpin.
Nicky Katzberg here, 4th on the grid. Another good qualifying run from the Lada driver. Katzberg on the 2nd row of the grid. There's the shirt for Norby. Not for you, Francois. Oh, hang on a minute. It is a Francois. Is it a Ribeiro shirt?
Thank you.
Come on, turn around. I think it must be then. So Hungarian national shirt.
Don't worry, we'll have that. Oh, no, we won't have that off him later. It's got his name on it.
Yeah. Mind you, another layer in these temperatures is never a bad thing. Ivan Muller, little moment of quiet contemplation.
Muller needs a good result this weekend. He's had a couple of average weekends for him, but you know, he is still very much a class act and should be in the title hunt. You've got the moment you've got Lopez up the top being hunted down by a swarm of Hondas behind him. So Muller really needs to get some solid points this weekend.
And look at the front row of the grid, almost as blue as the grid girls' dresses and their legs, because they are perishing. Fredrik Ekblom in the Cyan Polestar Volvo. Field heads away on the first of 2 green flag laps. The cars have not been on track in wet conditions this weekend, and so they are being given 2 formation laps. This is to find out where the grip levels are. Now, if you're Banani or any of the others here, and you find out you've gambled wrong, tough.
Yeah, Banani looks busy on that wheel. It looks like he's got slicks on the front of there.
Yeah. So the Moroccan flag on our lead car. First of 2 formation laps here at the Hungaro ring. Pole sitter leading them round. Well, massive drama here in the Hungaro ring. Norbert Mikelic destined to start the first of our 2 encounters here, 5th on the grid, on the first of 2 formation laps. Big turbo blow-up, huge amounts of classic Formula 1 turbo-era smoke pouring out of the exhaust. He's had to pull over on the exit of corner 11, halfway round. He has not got back to the pits. He will not get back to the pits. He cannot get the car fixed. And that means that Norby is not only out of race 1, that means Norby is out of race 2 as well, because if they can't get the car back to the pits now, they'll have 1 45-minute race. They'll have about an hour between the 2 World Touring Car races to fix it, which will be enough time, but he will have to start right at the back of the grid. If he could have got it back to the pits on the formation lap, they could have started working now. He might have had a chance to start in the middle of the grid. As it is, if they can fix it, if the engine's not too badly damaged, he will have to start last. And maybe he will, and maybe that will be the huge drama that we get.
Okay, so all be wary of oil from basically turn 1 to turn 5 from Norby at the moment.
So Rob Huff saying it is very slippery.
With oil from turn 1 to turn 5, that is going to be
5.
bad news for anyone on slicks, the likes of Lopez. So I think I just cannot see this place drying out at the moment. If anyone who's gone for the slick options, I think are really going to have their hands full. I mean, Huffy's got slicks on the front, wets on the rear, but I think Lopez has gone all round, hasn't he? Which is a real brave move.
Well, he's 9th. There is a gap 5th on the grid, so he's just going to have to make the most of it. And if you find yourself on the wrong tyre, you're just going to have to get on with it. Norbert Mikelic, though, I'm afraid, certainly not going to... Oh, somebody's in the pit lane. It's one of the larders, has decided to bail out. And is that Nicky Katzberg? No. So that'll be Ugo Valente or Gabriele Tarquini. They were side by side on the grid. One of the larders...
That's Tarquini.
...has gone in for tyres. It is Gabriele Tarquini who's already bailed out of his tyre choice before the race gets underway.
Yeah, he's going back to wets on the front. He had slicks on the front, wets on the rear.
So Tarquini tried to compromise with a split setup, but it requires wets. Here we go, we are ready to start the opening race in Hungary without Norby. 70,000 fans with nothing much to cheer here. Very slow getaway from the front row of the grid, as you can imagine. Lots of wheel spin. Ivar Muller trying to get around the outside of the blue car. Fredrik Ekblom, he has. And alongside Ekblom now comes Nicky Katzberg in the Lada, going to the outside. Everybody wants to brake late, but they're going to have to brake as early as they dare to try and make it round the corner. Katzberg out wide will lose 1, 2, 3 places and almost gets collected by Ugo Valente. And I think Tarquini has left the pits at the back of the field on a full wet setup. Muller to second place, but skates out wide. No grip there. Through goes Ekblom. Muller comes back on. Lopez behind him on full slicks. Also goes off, but bizarrely not as far as Muller did on full wets.
Amazing. Lopez has had a fantastic start, considering he's completely slick shod, but Banani's had a cracking start. He's obviously fully wet. I thought...
yeah, Muller down to 4th behind Katzberg.
Ekblom have got slicks on the front.
They're 3 wide off the Hondas there. Montero is full wets, isn't he? Norby was full slicks, but he's not in it. Huffy was a split choice, so he may have slicks on the front. And is that why he's going up the inside of Muller into turn 5, into turn 6, the chicane?
That's good work from Huffy. He's still got very little grip on the front. He's struggling with traction.
And look at Muller. Muller got tagged from behind by the Lada. That's Katzberg. So has Huffy gone by Katzberg as well? Yes.
Katzberg's up front, isn't he?
No.
That's Valente.
Oh, that's Valente. Yes, you're right. And Valente's trying to go by Muller. Is Muller really on wets? If so, what have they done? Has he got slick fronts? Well, Valente's driving around the outside of him.
Or trying to.
Lopez battling with John Philippi. Now, there's a sentence you won't hear too many times this year. Philippi clearly with some grip. There is Ten Bjerg at the tail with Fredrik Ekblom, rather, with Nicky Katzberg. So that's the battle of a second. Bernani trying to clear off. Whoa. How much did Muller's car change line there the moment he either lifted or got onto the brakes? You just saw it shoot across the track.
Muller using Valente as a wall of death, I think, to get around that corner. But
Muller's car just like went a car width sideways across the track when he changed its attitude.
Chilton's had a cracking first lap. He's up to, where is he? He's going to be third, fourth.
10th at the line, 4th place. Wow. 5th place. So it's Bernani that leads by 2 seconds from Ekblom and Katzberg together, then Huff, Chilton and Philippi. Who almost gets tagged into a spin by Valente. I'm thinking that John Philippi, if I was John Philippi, I'd be on full wets and the softest suspension settings I thought you could humanly survive in these conditions. Valente goes to the inside. Has he got the grip to stay there? With Muller, see the car in front. Is that de Moustier in front of him? It is de Moustier in front of him. Muller is going backwards, faster than a fast thing going backwards, and Lopez can't get by Ferenc Fischer, that lime green and grey car, making his World Touring Car Championship race debut here in Hungary for the Zengo Motorsport team, with whom, of course, we so associate Norbert Michelitz. And around the outside, de Moustier just drives around the outside of Montero.
Just got more grip. Yeah, just gone on right tyre.
So what's de Moustier on? I thought we heard that Montero was on full wets.
No, Montero, he was.
Norby was on full slicks. Thiago was on full wets. So either it's still too stiff, too dry a setup on the car, or they had a last-minute change of heart on the tyres and Thiago went slicks. Well, there's Bernani. He was 2 seconds in front. Ekblom set off after him, though. That gap has come down a little. Katzberg was behind, then Huff 4th, Chilton 5th, Philippi up to 6th, Valente 7th, Muller down to 8th, Montero down to 9th, de Moustier up to 10th, Lopez down to 11th, Coronel down to 12th, Ferenc Fischer was 13th at the line and is already ahead of Lopez, so he's picked up 2 spots to get ahead of Lopez since the start of that. Poor kid, he's a teenager, he's 19 years old.
We got Huffy in the Honda in 4th. If he can hang on there and he is on those slick fronts, then he could be sitting quite well for this.
Now, where's Tarquini? Has he made any progress? Yes, he made up 2 spots from the grid. This is Philippi and Valente battling side by side. Philippi's got the inside line. And if Ugo hangs on there, it's such a long way round though, Matt, even with more grip. It's just too much further all the way around.
You can see them, they're trying to find and pick out wet lines. They're just trying to look for new areas of the circuit where there could be that wee bit more grip, and it just seems to be like a skating ring all the way around that. And there's that spots of rain coming down I see on the camera lens again.
Contact between Coronel and Rennie Munich will be investigated after the race. Let's hear what Lopez has to say. I don't think he's going to be that calm.
Yeah, I don't know what we were thinking. Pressure is too low for these conditions.
Pressures are too low for these conditions. I don't know what we were thinking. Well, like everybody else, best guess, you know, all your engineering experience, all your driving experience, all your knowledge of the car, trying to get the right setup, but it is a guess. And you're trying to guess what grip you might find on a track that nobody has driven.
I think the pressure's going to be what they like if you're on slicks in these conditions.
Huffy is going to be in trouble here because John Philippi is romping through the field.
This could be John Philippi's best result ever.
Well, by a long way. Started 13th. He is chasing Huff for 5th.
That's if he doesn't get attacked by Valente.
Well, you know, there you go. That's all part of it, isn't it? But Filippi and Valente came from 13th and 12th respectively, and Huffy's up from 7th on the grid to 5th. And look, right behind is de Moustier, who may have one of the quickest cars on the track. Ekblom just set the fastest race lap in 2nd. Katzberg and Chilton setting fast 2nd and 1st sector times on this lap.
It's Katzberg's the man on the move in 3rd place, Martin, I reckon.
Yeah, and Valente as well, look, up the inside, goes through Huff.
Fastest lap by Katzberg.
Filippi has just disposed of Huff as if it was Huff disposing of Filippi in dry conditions. There's Peter Huff, Rob's dad, not too keen on the way things are working out at the moment for the Honda team. And now the crowd are on their feet, cheering Ferenc Fischer, the young Hungarian, across the line, trying to will him further up the order. Ferenc Fischer, the green and grey Hungarian colours, or the green and grey colours on the Hungarian's car. He moves his way up the order in front of Thiago Monteiro.
Just got to flash up John Filippi under investigation. I'm not too sure what for, but he is under investigation.
Start of car 27. OK, well, he may have jumped the start, possibly. Not sure. However, what's not needing investigation is that somehow they've managed to happen upon a good setup for the race. So too Grégoire de Moustier. Same deal with de Moustier. This could end up being comfortably his best race result in a while.
The fully wet shod cars are a good 2 to 3 seconds a lap, so that leading bunch of Bernani, Ekblom, Katzberg and Chilton are really pulling away now. It'll be interesting to see how Filippi, now he's broke free of the guys behind him, see if he can up the pace and close that gap.
Why are Muller and Lopez going backwards? Best lap by Mehdi Bernani's Citroën C-Élysée, 2 minutes 12.3. Best lap by Lopez, 2 minutes 20.9. And Muller, his best lap of the race, 2 minutes 22.5.
Gabriele Tarquini, who started from the pit lane, is now 10th.
Drive through for John Filippi. That's a real shame. He clearly just got a little away from the line too fast. Nicky Katzberg around the outside. Inside him is Frederick Ekblom for 2nd place. And still Bernani is 1.5 seconds clear, or was at the end of the last lap. Comes across the line and it's nearly 3 seconds.
Katzberg needs to clear Ekblom fast if he's going to have any chance.
3.03. Bernani has got away on that lap and doubled his lead purely by not having to defend.
Chilton, fastest lap of the race.
Yep, 2 minutes 10.6. Last lap for Lopez, 2 minutes 20.9. Last lap for Muller, 2:22.5.
Chilton is almost 1 second quicker than anything else on the circuit at the moment.
OK, well, if John Filippi jumped the start in that shot, then everybody else in the field deserves a much bigger penalty, because it clearly didn't look like it in that bit of tape.
Just a little gentle kiss there.
Yeah, well, you know, in these slippery conditions, I'm afraid that's going to happen. Coronel was on our right, didn't see where René Munich came from. Ah, OK, so it's a false start, not a jump start, which is the same thing in FIA language. John Filippi was out of position on the grid. So we're hearing, so he may not have been completely in his grid box or in the wrong grid box. Replay there from the Volvo of an entertaining sight of Citroëns going off left, right and centre. And again here, Muller couldn't control the car. That's not him hitting Valente, that's the car just having a mind of its own and trying to throw him off the track. And look how sideways Chilton got inside him. Muller here, looks, Chilton there is getting a big old slide going, because looks like there's a trail of oil right up the middle of the track. Yeah, Tarquini from a pit lane start in the top 10 and into the points now, Matt. So that gamble on tyres that he undid by going in at the end of the formation lap, that was a good choice to go in and get it done quickly, and he might have had to wait for the second formation lap for the team to actually have wet weather tyres ready to go for him.
Yeah, it's a shame. We'd like to have seen Gabriele on the grid, you know, right from the off with his with full wet shot, but He's making good, great progress, but it's the factory Citroens are nowhere. They are 9 seconds off the pace.
Chilton in 4th place is 3 seconds behind.
Katzberg's at the inside of Ekblom.
For second, Katzberg, again, a really racy drive. And look at Ekblom, found the traction off the line. Katzberg couldn't get on the throttle quite as early, but he's got the inside line. This is for second. Bernani now 4 seconds clear. Boys, you need to sort this out and work together, or you're going to let Chilton catch you and Bernani escape.
I thought there was going to be contact there, but nice and clean.
Good, clean racing line by both men. And Ferenc Fischer again. Look, you can hear now the crowd are cheering him. Philippi comes in for his drive-through. However, probably even from a drive-through, he's going to catch and pass the factory Citroens. There's de Moustier, who is just in front of Tarquini, but Gabrielli now has the speed. Gabrielli not setting purple sectors yet. Bernani is, Chilton is. De Moustier, the 3rd of the Sebastian Loeb Racing Citroens, still in 7th place, 6th place. Whoa! Ooh! I know.
You don't want to start hanging it out with Gabrielli. He will not take prisoners.
I'm not sure he's entirely trying to hang it out, frankly. I think the Citroen is hanging itself out sideways. I think de Moustier's got his hands more than full. And here is our 2-time world champion.
About to fall prey to René Munich.
René Munich goes around the outside. And Tarquini has got by de Moustier, so that is him up into 6th position from the pit lane. This is not a standard dry race, is it? Ivan Muller, 15th place. And Jose Maria Lopez currently 13th and fighting off Tom Coronel, who came up quickly and has gone back just as quickly. Chilton versus Ekblom now for 3rd position. See how quickly Chilton caught these two. He was 3 seconds behind a lap and a half ago. And the Sebastian Loeb Racing guys, whatever runes they consulted, they have done a really good job on the setup of these cars and in guessing the weather and what might work. Bernani leads for Sebastian Loeb Racing. Katzberg 2nd for Lada, and the battle on for 3rd. Ekblom still just in front of Chilton.
Bernani realises the pressure's on now. He's pinned his ears back, fastest last sector, as he knows Katzberg's set off in chase.
There is a trail of oil right through the middle of the track, but that's not Norby's oil. Bernani, another quick lap, 2:10.67. Ferenc Fischer now moves up to 8th position on his debut. Bernani already leading the WTCC trophy for independent drivers, looking at another trophy win. And look at the tees there. How many trophy drivers are in the top 10? It's half full of them.
Yeah, Bernani's responded to Katzberg. No, Katzberg's taken another little chunk out of him. Another 4/10 in the 1st sector.
And we have 8 laps left, and 4.5 seconds was the lead. Go Gabrielli, he is going. Tarquini currently lying in 6th place. And down the inside of Coronel, nice clean pass.
Storming drive from the Italian Tarquini.
That was some while ago. Been a very long time since he's been behind factory Citroens. He's now 10 places in front of the factory Citroens.
This could be Lada's best ever race result. They've got all 3 cars in the top 6 at the moment.
Yep, Valente 5th, Tarquini 6th, and there's de Moustier. So that was the replay of him taking 6 from de Moustier. And here is Chilton going alongside Ekblom. Not quite enough of an overlap there, but look at the grip he's got to spare. Frederick Ekblom using all the road. Come on, Tom. And Chilton really pushing again, you know, for Sebastian Loeb Racing. Bernani leading, Chilton looking for 3rd. 2 cars on the podium. But bear in mind, although Bernani's driven his car for a year, Chilton is only in the 3rd weekend in that Citroen. John Philippi, after a drive-through, coming back to retake 9th place from Rob Huff. And it is taking candy from a baby, isn't it? And we talked about this right at the beginning. Either you're going to be on the money by luck, or you're not by luck. And it is more luck than judgment, because nobody can tell which way the weather is going to go, and nobody could really tell which way the conditions are going to go, because it's the first time it's been wet here.
Big lap from Gabriele Tarquini.
Fastest lap of the race, 2:09.9 from Tarquini.
Oh, Chilton's up Ekblom's. Oh, I thought he was going to get his nose at the inside there.
The thing for Tom is he doesn't know how the car drives in the wet. Oh, and Rennie Munich has gone off trying to go around Huff. Or Montero, it's Montero, I think. So Munich drifted out onto the wet curbing and went a long way off, and Ekblom takes too much speed into turn 4, comes back on, still in front of Chilton, but along through turn 5. Chilton's going to try and turn tight and really pile on the pressure down into the chicane. You can't get through there, Tom. You haven't got enough room.
That's the problem. Through this section, you've got to be follow the leader. The Citroens.
Well, they haven't been black flagged. They have given up. They're going to have to go and try something. And this is now where they're going to research for the main race, where, of course, Lopez starts from pole. Because if he's only got the lap speed he's got now, which is 10 seconds slower than Mehdi Benani per lap, then he's not going to go to the grid. Lopez and Muller back in. Chilton's got through. And this is where it happened. Ekblom hasn't quite had the traction that the Citroens enjoyed.
Oh, got a good run through there. Yes,
he did. 11. Wow, good pass by Chilton. And was Ivan on full slicks? Ivan was on full slicks, which means Lopez must have been on full slicks as well. Why has it taken them 8 laps to change their tyres?
Yeah, why is one parallel parked and the other one tail in?
Well, they hang a minute. They saw what Tarquini was doing, having changed onto wets. They saw what they were doing within 2 laps. Why did they not come in 10 laps ago?
I think they had to do that, Martin, because they just flipped to the back end of the top 15. They weren't going to score any points, so they've just got to anything now.
But Tarquini is currently in 6th from the pit lane. Within a lap, you and I could both see that the factory Citroens were just going to go backwards. They'd selected reverse and they weren't getting out of reverse. So what on earth were they doing? Why didn't they just change tyres? This is the race where they have to score points, especially Muller, because Lopez is starting the main race on pole.
Chilton, fastest front sector again. They're both hunting Benani down.
Yeah, Katzberg is trying to close on Benani, and this is Tarquini and Valente. Tarquini
getting through.
Getting by Valente for 5th. So we've got 2 Sebastian Loeb Racing Citroens and all 3 Ladas in the top 6. Fredrik Ekblom in the Volvo is currently lying in 4th spot.
Never mind the second race, they'll be cracking the vodka open in the Lada garage before the afternoon's out.
Now, I don't know what tyres Ted Björk started on, but he's coming down pit road, and his fastest race lap has been a 2:22 compared to his teammates' 2:12. So I'm assuming that Björk was the man on the slicks. And again, why has it taken 9 laps?
Yeah, why have they pursued it?
You know, they're really clever people, but sometimes you sit there and you go, what were you thinking? If I was on those wets, on slicks on this track, just being passed by everybody, I'd be going, come on.
Yeah, I think they're just hoping with more cars circulating that it was going to, you know, a dry line appear, but you can see the rain coming off the end.
It is raining harder now, so anybody who is on really tired wets, and they all are, is going to be starting to struggle a little. But Tarquini, fastest first sector of all now. He's in 5th position and trying to get on the podium from the pit lane. Benani across the line, 4 seconds ahead of Katzberg, so he stopped the rock, maybe. He only lost, although he gained a 10th on Katzberg that time. Chilton 3rd, his fastest race lap. You can see it starting to sheet down now on the track. So Chilton's 3rd, Ekblom still 4th, and then the 2 Ladas, Tarquini and Valente 5th and 6th. Gabriele, incidentally, with the fastest lap of the race, full stop, 2 minutes 9.9.
Yeah, Benani's managed to stop the rot to Katzberg, and he's able to hold that.
Drive through for Rennie Munich for causing a collision, and that may have been at the start with Coronel. Remember, he and Coronel were an incident between was being investigated. So it would seem that that was Rennie Munich being apportioned the blame for that one. Out on, you have to assume, wets come Coronel and Björk. And Sebastian Loeb Racing Garage, they're all holding their breath, aren't they? 10 laps, or lap 10 of 14, so this one plus 4 more for Mehdi Benani.
They don't have much rain in Morocco, do they, for Benani?
Do you know what? You know, it's like it was like Ben Barnicoat in the Formula 3 this morning. Just drove away like it was a wet Formula 3 race in the UK. But yeah, Benani hasn't spent a lot of time at Snetterton on wet Wednesdays testing, has he? Frankly, but whatever. He's doing a stellar job. He's holding off Nicky Katzberg. Tom Chilton in third. Has now gone quicker than Benani has managed all race. But let's hear from the Honda drivers.
Thiago, keep going, because you never know how the evolution of the weather. And now you are 12.
Yeah, Thiago's 12th, Rennie Munich is 11th, but a drive-through, so that will move Thiago up to 11th. Rob Huff is 10.
Yeah, Thiago, keep going. We've put enough fuel to keep you going until Tuesday.
Yeah, Thiago, keep going. You never know, the slicks might work in the next 3 laps. It's hissing with rain.
It's going to be blinding here by June.
It is absolutely hissing it down. They are not going to work. But I tell you what, they'll be like new. They'll be so cold, they'd have done so little work in these conditions. It is tough, isn't it? You know, you just... You make your choice, you gamble, and as we heard them say on the grid, was it Thiago said on the grid, wasn't it? If this chance is wrong, if this choice is wrong, we're dead. And he's dead.
Yeah, unfortunately for us, it seems like the top 4, we've got 3 or 4 laps to go, but it seems to be a little bit of status quo on the lap times now, where they've lost their edge off the tyres, they've all...
It's mainly how much Tarquini now can close on Ekblom, because he's just lapping
he's too
a second and a half quicker.
He's 7 seconds back, 3 laps to go. I think it's going to be a tough ask.
Well, that was the key point for Gabrielli. Came in after 1 formation lap, or after 2 formation laps actually, and then changed what were front slicks for front wets. So he had wets all round, and then it's taking candy off a baby. Ooh. Well, you know, he's Gabrielli. He's got to be a little Italianate in his passing occasionally, hasn't he? And that time, Demustier's car threw itself out of the way, so Gabrielli didn't have to ease his way through.
Oh, Ivan Muller, fastest front sector. Now he's wet shod.
Oh, he's got some wet weather tyres on. You know, it's very easy to be wise after the fact, and it's very easy to stand in the commentary position and talk about what they should have done, but you do think they might have responded a little quicker. Wetter and wetter at the Hungaroring, our opening race in the 3rd race weekend of the World Touring Car Championship. Volvo versus Chevrolet. Tom Coronel goes through on Ted Björk for 14th place, and the factory Citroens, Jose Maria Lopez in 16th position, and Ivan Muller on wet weather tyres now, setting his personal best lap, and actually he is within a few tenths of what the fastest drivers in the race have been setting since the start on their wets. Ferenc Fischer currently battling with John Philippi for 8th position. Fischer, the newbie to the championship, didn't race in Le Castellet, didn't race in Slovakia, and making his debut for Zengo Motorsport here in Hungary, but running out of grip on the outside, and John Philippi goes straight through up to 8th position.
Chilton, fastest final sector of the race, so he's still got his tail up and he's still having a go. If he keeps his ears pinned back, he might be able to catch Katzberg by the flag and have one or 2 stabs at him.
Ivan Muller now, fastest lap coming up for him. Chilton has just set his fastest, as you say, and you saw the crowd there rising to their feet, supporting Ferenc Fischer. The Zengo Motorsport team are as sort of well understood and well loved as Norbert Michelitz almost, because they've been inseparable since Norby first came into the championship. And now, with another young Hungarian in the car, and the prospect of another one joining later on in the season, hopefully for the Nürburgring, the Hungarian fans will have 3 drivers on the grid to cheer along. You can see the Volvo struggling for grip. Ted Björk getting back past Tom Coronel. This is the battle for 14th.
Still just not drying out at all, is it?
No, it's getting wetter and wetter now. And between our two races, the Formula V8 3.5 cars are going to be out, so that will be really trying time. They've got a lot of downforce, but with 550 horsepower in these slippery conditions, they're going to be a big old handful. So Coronel, I think, started on slicks all round. We saw that on the grid, didn't we? And you have to assume that Ted Bjerk did. He was right at the back anyway after the engine change. He had nothing to lose by having a gamble. Again, it's slightly surprising. Maybe it was really when it started to rain properly, they went, OK, it's never going to dry out. We're going to have to abandon our slick gamble. We're not going to have those last 3 laps where hopefully the tyre really comes to us. And so they then just bailed out, same as the factory Citroens had to.
And we go on about Michelitz, and it was gutting to see, you know, obviously for the home crowd, but he was hung anyway. He was out on slicks all round, just like the Citroens, so...
But he might have done what Tarquini did, come straight down pit road, started from the pit lane, whatever. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with his car, with his engine, whether it gets rebuilt, whether he starts at all in race 2, or whether he's on the back of the grid for the main race. We'll have to see. You saw Mehdi Benani's dad whispering a quiet prayer there as his son holds on this penultimate lap. Tom Coronel lost a bit of grip, lost a bit of traction. Yay! Wide through 11. And Ted Bjerk comes back through.
Chilton is still closing the gap on those lead 2. He's
2.7 behind
he just
now.
needs a few more laps to go on.
There aren't going to be a few. Well, there are very few more laps. Yikes! Tiago Montero barely makes it through the chicane. And there is Gabriele Tarquini. Fastest lap 209.9, last lap 210.1. So he's still got almost all the pace he had before, but Tarquini is nearly 4 seconds behind Fredrik Ekblom's Volvo.
He's closing at 2 seconds a lap though, Martin.
Yeah, but this is the penultimate lap. Keeps at least 2 wheels inside the white line. Ted Bjerk once more back at Tom Coronel. Coronel drives around the outside. Yikes. And here is Chilton with Tarquini. No, with Katzberg. He's in front of Katzberg. Chilton up to second. It is a 1-2 then for the Sebastian Loeb Racing Citroens. And Chilton just drove right by him on traction out of the corner and straight through on the inside. Sebastian Loeb, look at it, they can't believe the way this race has transpired. Mehdi's dad still not daring to believe this. Tom's dad is in the US with younger brother Max. But I'm sure that they will be watching somehow, somewhere. Mehdi Benani leads for Sebastian Loeb Racing. Tom Chilton second for Sebastian Loeb Racing. Nicky Katzberg on the podium for Lada at the moment. Ekblom's not going to catch him, is he? Last lap of the race, Tarquini, here he comes. He's looking for 4th.
Do this. Tarquini can do this.
I'm sort of not sure we want to watch this, really. Let's see what Nicky Katzberg has to say.
Car is so unbelievably shit. They just cannot do anything.
I think he's saying the grip's not quite where he had hoped it might be.
He has a great description of his
As you know,
machinery.
Matt, the first thing that every driver learns in English is how to swear. So, unfortunately, that is all part of the vocabulary as well. Nicky Katzberg calling a gripless car a gripless car. However, still on the podium.
I mean,
oh, look at this. Lopez has got by Coronel. He's also got by Bjerk. So Lopez has picked up those 2 in one fell swoop. Lopez now up to the giddy heights of 14th.
Chilton still taking time out of Benani. He's not going to want this. He's not going to want this race to finish. Or neither is Tarquini.
No, but Benani could have finished 10 laps ago. Benani would have been a happy bunny. He's led from the first corner. He's 5 seconds ahead of Chilton on to the final lap. There's Lopez, and there is René Munich, who... Is that Munich going past Huff? It is for the final point. Huffy's out of the point. Montero's out of the point. And Michelitz didn't start.
So where are the leaders?
Not a great race for the factory Hondas.
Chilton's taken more time out of it in the mid-sector.
Well, they're out of sector 2. It's down to sector 3, but he's taken 7/10 out of Benani in the first. He lost 5. Oh no, he's taken another 5/10. It's only a second. Benani is cruising to the line.
There we go. Where's Tarquini?
Checkered flag is
Allez, messieurs, on
out.
a fait là. Ça c'est bon. Première victoire d'équipe. Putain, ça c'est bon. Ah, ça c'est bon. Ah, merci. Ça c'est bon.
Mehdi Benani wins for Citroën. Tom Chilton second for Citroën, both for Sebastian Loeb Racing. Nicky Katzberg on the podium. Mehdi's dad is in tears. His son will be as well. He is a very emotional character. And why wouldn't you be? Nicky Katzberg on the podium in third place. Frederick Ekblom fourth. Gabriele Tarquini 6/10 behind him at the line from the pit lane. Bearing in mind Ekblom started second on the grid. Ugo Valenti in sixth. All three larders in the top six. Grégoire de Moustier seventh. John Philippi with a drive-through is in eighth place. And Ferenc Fischer, listen. He'll do. He's the new hero today for the Hungarian crowd, cheering him to the echo. He's in ninth place, and somebody somewhere will be 10th, and I think that somebody somewhere will be René Munich, unless Huffy's got by him. Across the line in 10th, is that Muller?
No.
No, hang on a minute. Okay, our timing's gone kibosh because we're not showing Munich, Huff or Montero having finished, but Muller, Lopez, Coronel and Björk have finished, and so there was a gap there.
But a great result for Sebastian Loeb Racing. Not just 1-2, but 1-2-7. So they got all three cars in the top 7, 2 on the podium.
Fantastic job by them. The real worry for the crowd, though, is what happens now for Norbert Michelitz and the main race.